Hi guys. Okay, so take one. I'm sure I'll be editing the crap out of this, but I have been toying with going back and forth with making this video, and well, I guess I should tell you who I am first, right? Oh, hi. So I'm Dana Buchanan with Lularoe Dana Buchanan, now, well, formerly known Dana Buchanan, now known as Lularoe Prints and Patterns. That's a whole other video of why we chose to rename our business Prints and Patterns, more to do with the mobile boutique aspect of it. But I haven't made an update in a very long time. And part of that is because mom of 3 boys, full-time business, full-time photography business, husband in the Air Force, a lot has gone on this past year. So I submitted my paperwork September 20 something a year ago, and then I waited in the queue and onboarded in November. So this is kind of like close to my 1 year mark, and I've contemplated a lot going back and forth because there isn't any like major like woohoo, yay, you know, I made $50,000 each month and I cruise qualified, and there's none of that in this video. And I see that a lot. I see that all the time, and it's awesome to celebrate your victories and to just bask in the awesomeness of the achievements that you've created throughout, you know, your journey with Lularoe or whatever direct sales company that you do. But mine is a different victory, and if you followed our journey, you kind of know what my family and I are going through. But if you haven't, you're about to get a sneak peek into some crazy-ish that has happened this past year and these past couple months. So when I first onboarded, or I was in the queue, I first filled out my paperwork, I went to Inspire and I got up on stage and I shared my why. You know, my why originally was, and I'm going to say originally because it's changed, was my son, my oldest son. He's on the spectrum and life is challenging for him. He gets frustrated, and I figured, you know what, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I want to do something for myself. I've lost my identity. I need to find me. What better way to then do something in front of him that's hard, you know, and that I can show him like, hey, life is hard and you have obstacles, but you don't give up. You fight through them. And I never knew in a million years, sitting, you know, a year ago from that time to now, what would have transpired. And when I onboarded, I was 9-ish months pregnant, literally was due in 6 weeks when I got my inventory. So that was hectic in itself. But during my pregnancy, I had severe migraines, horrible migraines. And to the point where I would black out, I would get, you know, fuzzy light and like orange. It looked like fireworks. That's the only way I could explain it. So my OB, thank God for him, sent me to a neurologist for a referral. He's like, you know what, you need to go. Let's play all the cards. Let's look at what we got going on, you know, and let's send you. So I went. I was reluctant at first. I was like, I don't want to deal with another referral. I'm just pregnant and, you know, sorry, my nose itches, allergies. Sorry, I'm being real with y'all. So I went and I had an MRI done, and I get a call, and it's my neurologist, and he is like, oh my gosh, my nose really itches. Probably because I'm trying not to cry. And my neurologist goes, hey, so, you know, we want to schedule you for a follow-up, but I really need you to go get another MRI. And I'm like, okay, why? It's like, because, you know, you've got part of your main artery and your head is larger than this. We're worried about an aneurysm. So we need to do an immediate, like, MRI. And he called all this, like, doctoral stuff. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, aneurysm in my brain to say, what? You know? So I drive the hour and I go get, you know, this follow-up emergency MRI and this clack, 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 clack noise, you know, for 45 minutes, and this baby jumping around inside my belly, and I'm just freaking out, you know, and I'm praying to God, and just please let this baby be okay, and if anything happens to me, like, I'm 27 weeks pregnant, please, Lord, just protect this baby. And that's all I kept saying. So it came back 24 hours later, and we get the results and the confirmation that it wasn't an aneurysm. Great! Yay! Okay, so what is it? You know, like, what caused you to freak out? Oh, you were born with it. Okay, just keep trucking along. You know, it's this. Oh, sorry, it's not what's causing your migraines, though. Okay, again, great, it's pregnancy. So I have another follow-up appointment with him, and he goes over all of the findings in my MRI, and I'm like, wait, findings in my MRI? And he's like, oh, we found some accidental findings. You have a tiny little cyst, and nothing to be worried at. It's on the inner part of your, brain, and most people who find these during their autopsy. That's comforting. Okay. So I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, all right, so is this causing my symptoms? No, I'm banking them, it's your pregnancy. It's your pregnancy, and we'll do a follow-up 6 months, after the baby's born, and we'll do an MRI with contrast. Okay. So I leave there feeling great that it's not an aneurysm, great that there's really nothing wrong with me, and it's just pregnancy hormones. I can deal with it. We have two other kids at home. So life moves forward. Lula gets busy. We invest in a mobile boutique. We order it. We build it. It is amazing. Life is going great. My sales, they went up, and then they hovered. They hovered, and then they went down. And things that I wanted to do weren't working. Our internet completely went out, and that's a whole nother video of the obstacles of Lularoe and how to truck through them. But my health kept being weird. That's all I can say, being weird. I felt tired, very, very chronic fatigue, and I equaled it to I'm tired. I'm a mom of 3, a baby that doesn't sleep at night, and a child on the spectrum with 30 hours of therapy a week, in-home therapy, a 2-year-old that's in terrible twos. I'm exhausted. I was really dizzy all the time, really, really bad vertigo. To the point where there'd be a couple times where I would hold onto the wall, and a lot of these symptoms I haven't even shared with, my husband or my mom or my dad or my best friends, because I didn't want to scare people and I didn't want to accept them myself. So it was weird. It was really weird. I can't even explain it. There's a bunch of times that I was driving to Santa Clarita, which was about 40 minutes away, to our children's doctor's appointments. And I remember being in the car and just crying because I didn't feel good. I was nauseous. I was dizzy. Literally the car was spinning. And I'm like, I'm driving my children right now. What is wrong with me? Is it a migraine? Is it because I didn't sleep last night? I couldn't figure it out. And I just knew I did not feel good. A lot of times I'd pray, Lord, please take this away. Why do I feel like this? Give me some essential oils. Maybe it's something I ate. I have celiacs, so heaven forbid if I get cross-contaminated. A whole slew of stuff, right? Just kept ignoring it. This whole time, back of my mind was, you have a little cyst. Is it your cyst? No, it's not my cyst. So, I believe in God. And if you've followed our journey, I talk about my faith all the time. It's my cup of tea, and I love drinking that cup of tea. I am a daughter of Jesus Christ, and I fully, wholeheartedly believe that His hand is on this journey. And the only way I can overcome this crazy storyline that I have been handed is to know that at the end of it all, there is truth, that He has something larger for my life than I ever could imagine. There is a testimony to this, that I don't give up, that I have trust in Him. So, I met a very dear good friend. God, I love this woman, Monica. And if you're watching, you know who you are. So Monica and I became very fast friends all through the love of Lularoe. And she said, hey, do you want to go to this going out of business sale for consultants only? Sure, why not? So we were swapping out some things and trying to get rid of, you know, some duplicates or some things that had been sitting on our shelves for a while. And a dear good friend who was going out of the business due to a brain tumor, that's all I knew, invited us into her home to swap out some of these items. And she was shipping up all of her stuff, and she was sending it back to Lularoe. And she didn't want to do a going out of business sale in her group because she didn't want to devalue the name of Lularoe. And I love her for that, because there's so many people going out of business, and that's a whole nother story, who don't do that. And so I'm very appreciative. But it was God. It was God all over it, wanting me to meet this young lady. And we are at her house, and my dear good friend Monica, she's pre-med student for surgical intern, I guess. I hope I had the words right, I'm sorry. So she's like all about this kind of stuff, and she's asking this Lularoe consultant, and I'm going to keep your name private because, you know, I didn't pre-ask you to talk about it, but was like, hey, you know, what's going on? Why are you going out of business? And she shares with us that she has a pineal on her pineal gland, and it's gotten quite large, and it's affecting her optic nerves. And my head must have done a 360. I was like, say what? You have, where? On what part of your brain? Wait, what? Because I was told they're asymptomatic. They don't cause any problems. They don't grow into tumors. They stay small. Your pineal gland's only 5 millimeters large. There's nothing that can grow in there. So I private messaged her and I said, hey, so I totally wasn't eavesdropping, but here's my situation and here's my story. Could these be related? And she wrote me back, guys, when you don't feel good, or for my instance, I felt crazy. I felt like I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle my kids. I couldn't handle my business. I couldn't handle myself. I felt like something was wrong with me mentally. I just couldn't handle it all. I had gotten depressed. It was just really bad. And my child is in his underwear, so if he hops up here, hi, bud, can you go get some shorts?
No, you're sick.
Aaron doesn't feel good. He's got a tummy ache. Want to lay with me?
I want
Okay, lay with me. Okay. So this is my 2-year-old. So, anyways, she directed me to a group on Facebook, and I instantly felt, wow, I'm not crazy. This is what's happening. There are thousands of other people who are dealing with what I'm dealing with. Okay. He knew I needed a hug. So I take their advice. I get my follow-up MRI, and I get a call from my doctor. Hey, so that little tiny cyst doesn't look like 3 or like a little cyst anymore. It looks like 3.
3.
Yeah.
That's 3.
3.
Yeah.
And I really think you should follow up with a specialist.
What?
Click. What?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Have a follow-up MRI, get the results, and now what? I ask for my scans to be mailed to me to research on particular doctors and our recent trip to South Carolina. So, going to South Carolina was very nerve-wracking in the sense that I knew what he was going to say, but I didn't know what he was going to say, and I was fingers crossing that these people were all wrong, and what my previous neurologist said was right. It doesn't cause any symptoms. I'm just going crazy. Yeah. Go get it. So,
No.
he talks to me, goes over my symptoms, reviews my scans, and he goes, normally you need a biopsy. I can't tell you what this is without biopsying it, but this isn't a normal cyst. I can tell by X, Y, and Z and the way it's formed and the size that it is and how much it grew. And the fact that you have no more pineal gland, it ate it. My tumor ate my pineal gland. And we need to take this out. You need surgery. Now, it's not normal brain surgery because your pineal gland is at the center part of your brain, in between your two hemispheres. So a lot of doctors will look at this and they run. They won't touch it with a 10-foot pole because you literally have to navigate it with a tiny little scope, and you pluck it like a berry. It's exactly how he described it. He's just gonna go in there and remove it like a berry. Okay, cool. Sign me up. Cut open my head. Why not? I'm not there yet. I think once they call me and they're like, "This is your surgery date," I might have a breakdown moment, or I don't know. But I know that I have to move forward and I have to have strength and positivity because this is one of 3 little boys that I am raising to be men and men of God one day. Respectful little boys who want attention right now because all eyes aren't on them. But if you asked me if I would go through this past year again, I would in a heartbeat because I found myself. I found myself through Lularoe, and through one of the hardest moments of my life, I have community. You want water? Go get some water.
I can't.
Yeah, the stool's in my... Go get the stool out of the bathroom.
I want water.
Go get the stool.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Through one of the hardest times in my life, I have an amazing prayer train going on. I've met some women who have touched my life in ways that they'll never know. I have financial support for my family. What it's going to look like after I have surgery, I have no idea. Lord help Joe. He will be going live all the time, and hopefully we can expand our shopping boutique and make it bigger. I don't know, but this is my story. This is my past year success and my success of health and finding what was wrong with me. And here's to moving forward and fixing it. So for those of you who watched the whole entire video, thank you. And I'm sorry. It's real life though, right? I have kids. And my life revolves around my kids and myself and my Lord and my husband, who has been such an amazing rock through all of this. So my name is Dana, and I'm a Lularoe retailer. I've had my business for almost a year. I have a brain tumor, and if you want to follow our journey and join in this amazing prayer chain and this miracle and see what happens, I would love more than nothing for you to join us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me, and I didn't break down. Yay! But that's where I stand. So this past year, it was an amazing year. I wouldn't change anything about it. Love to you all. Until my next update, probably be after I get my surgery appointment, my surgery date, however you say it. But if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to support you in any way possible. Thank you all. Hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. Happy Monday. And yeah, talk to you soon.